Simone Hayes never imagined her wedding night would look like this. Three identical Korean men stood in the shadows of the luxury bedroom, their dark eyes fixed on her with an intensity that made her skin flush hot and cold at the same time. "Before this night ends, you'll scream our names," the center one said, his accent thick with promise and possession. Her pulse hammered in her throat. She'd signed the papers, agreed to become their wife, all three of them, to rescue her family from financial ruin. But no lawyer's language had prepared her for this moment, for the raw hunger in their identical faces, for the way her body betrayed her with heat despite the fear coursing through her veins. I don't understand," Simone whispered, her back pressed against the door. "You told me this was just business." "It is business," the one on the left replied, taking a slow step forward. "But business doesn't exclude pleasure. Or benefits." Before we dive deeper into Simone's story, besties, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now. What you're about to witness is absolutely wild, and trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment. Your support keeps these intense stories coming daily. Now, let's get back to Simone's wedding night. 24 hours ago, Simone had been holding her father's hand in a hospital room, listening to machines breathe for him while collection agencies circled like sharks smelling blood. His stroke had devastated them financially. Her mother's hair salon couldn't cover the bills. Their home was heading to auction. Her little sister's scholarship money was gone. They were sinking fast, and Simone was the only lifeline. "Miss Hayes." The attorney had materialized like either salvation or damnation. She still couldn't decide which. "I represent the Kwan family. They have an unusual proposition." The proposition was insanity. Marry three brothers, Korean crime lords who needed a wife to fulfill their dying grandmother's traditional expectations. 1 year of marriage, complete discretion, and in return, every debt erased. Her father's medical expenses covered forever, her sister's education fully funded, plus $500,000 cash when the year concluded. "Why me?" Simone had asked, instinct screaming that nothing this perfect came without strings. "You meet their specific requirements," the attorney had answered carefully. 25, single, no criminal history, desperate enough financially to consider this, and he'd paused untouched. Heat had flooded Simone's face. "You mean virgin?" Their grandmother follows very traditional values. She requires assurance the marriage is legitimate in every aspect. Simone should have walked away, found another solution. But watching her father fight to stay alive, thinking of her mother's tears, remembering her sister's devastated face when she'd talked about dropping out, Simone had picked up the pen and signed. The ceremony had been clinical, almost cold. A judge, the lawyer, three brothers in matching black designer suits, and Simone in a simple white dress her mother had sewn by hand. She'd barely registered their faces during the vows, too overwhelmed by the surreal nature of marrying three men simultaneously. Legal under specific Korean circumstances, the lawyer had explained. Rare, but legitimate. The grandmother had observed from her wheelchair, satisfaction gleaming in her ancient eyes as each brother slid a ring onto Simone's finger. 3 rings, 3 vows, 3 husbands. Then they'd brought her here, to this penthouse worth more than her entire neighborhood. Left her alone to change into the white silk nightgown laid out on the bed. And now she faced 3 men looking at her like she was simultaneously precious treasure and helpless prey. "I'm Daejung Kwan," the center one said. He was clearly the leader, the decision-maker. "People call me DJ. These are my brothers, Taewon," he gestured left, and Min Suk, gesturing right. "We're identical triplets, though I'm sure you've noticed." Simone had noticed. Impossible not to. They were devastatingly attractive, all sharp features and intense dark eyes, black hair styled with subtle variations. DJ's swept back aggressively, Taewon's parted perfectly to one side, Minsuk's falling slightly across his forehead. All three towered over her at probably 6'3", with builds suggesting serious gym dedication. And all three studied her like they wanted to consume her whole. "This is overwhelming, I know," Taewon said, his tone gentler than DJ's commanding one. "We're not here to hurt you. But we will make you scream," Minsuk added with a slight smile. "From pleasure, not pain. There's a critical difference." "I don't want this," Simone blurted. "I mean, yes, I signed the contract, but it said marriage, not this." "The contract explicitly states consummation is required," DJ said, pulling out his phone and scrolling. Section 7, Paragraph 3. "The marriage must be legitimate in all respects, including physical intimacy, to satisfy our grandmother's requirements and ensure full disbursement of agreed compensation." Simone's stomach dropped. She'd read the contract, but the dense legal language combined with her desperation had made her miss that critical detail. "I'm not ready," she said, voice shaking. I don't know what to." "We know," DJ said. "That's part of why you were selected." "That's disgusting," Simone snapped, anger cutting through terror. "You specifically wanted a virgin? What is this, the 19th century?" "Our grandmother is 93, Taewon explained patiently. She maintains very traditional values. She insisted that her grandson's wife be pure, untouched. We didn't create the requirements. We're simply following them." "Why do you even need a wife?" Simone demanded. "You're obviously rich, powerful. You could have any woman. Why go through this elaborate setup?" The three brothers exchanged meaningful glances. Then DJ spoke. "Our grandmother is dying. Perhaps 3 months left. Her dying wish is seeing us married, settled, continuing the bloodline. We've disappointed her in the past. This is our opportunity to give her peace before she passes." "What did you do to disappoint her?" Simone asked. "Not relevant to tonight," Minsuk said, moving slightly closer. Simone pressed harder against the door. "Please don't touch me. I'm scared." All three brothers froze immediately. "We're not rapists," DJ said firmly. "Everything happening tonight requires your consent." "But you said the contract demands consummation," Simone pointed out. "It does," Taewon agreed. "But that doesn't mean force. It means seduction, persuasion, making you want this as intensely as we do." "I won't want it," Simone said. "I don't even know you." "Then let us introduce ourselves properly," DJ said. "Sit with us. Talk. Let us explain what this year actually entails." Against every instinct, Simone moved to the couch. The brothers sat across from her, giving her space, their body language deliberately non-threatening. First, DJ began, "Understand that we take this marriage seriously. You're not merely a contract to us. You're our wife. That means something significant in our culture, in our family. It means you're under our protection," Taewon continued. "Anyone threatening you threatens us. Anyone hurting you answers to us. And it means," Minsuk finished, "we're committed to your happiness, your safety, your well-being for this year and potentially beyond, depending on how circumstances develop." "The contract says 1 year," Simone said. "After that, I'm free with my money." "The contract says minimum 1 year," DJ corrected. "If all parties agree, it can extend indefinitely or become permanent." Simone's heart skipped. "You mean actually stay married? Like forever?" "If we fall in love," Taewon said simply. "If this becomes real instead of transactional." "It's possible, isn't it?" "I don't know," Simone admitted. "This is completely insane." "Insane doesn't preclude possible," Minsuk said, leaning forward. "Our entire family built an empire on insane ideas everyone claimed were impossible." "Your family built an empire on crime," Simone corrected. "Let's not romanticize what you actually do." DJ's lips curved slightly. "You're right. We're criminals. Our grandfathers started with protection rackets in Busan. Our father expanded into gambling, smuggling, money laundering. We've diversified further: import-export, real estate, entertainment. Some legal, most not." "Why are you telling me this?" Simone asked. Shouldn't you keep your criminal activities secret? You're our wife, Taewon said simply. That makes you family. Family knows everything. Family is trusted with everything. And family never, ever betrays each other. The weight of those words settled over Simone like a heavy blanket, warm and suffocating simultaneously. I didn't sign up to join a crime family, she said. I signed up to help my father clear our debts and leave after a year. Plans change, DJ said. Feelings develop. Loyalties shift. You might discover you enjoy being a Kwan. I'm still a Hayes, Simone shot back. The contract allows me to keep my name. For now, Min-suk said softly. But you're wearing our rings, sleeping in our home, about to share our bed. At what point does Hayes become just a memory and Kwan become your identity? Simone looked down at her left hand. 3 platinum bands, each engraved with Korean characters she couldn't read. What do they say? She asked. The rings. DJ held up his own hand, showing a matching band. Mine says strength. I'm the eldest by 4 minutes. I handle strategy, leadership, difficult decisions. Taewon showed his ring next. Mine says wisdom. I'm middle. I handle negotiations, alliances, maintaining peace between our various operations and partners. Min-suk's ring caught the light. Mine says heart. I'm youngest by 6 minutes. I handle relationships, people, ensuring we don't lose our humanity in this business. And mine? Simone asked. Yours says home, all 3 brothers said simultaneously. Because that's what you are to us now, DJ continued. Home. The place we return to. The person grounding us. Simone felt tears threatening. You don't even know me. How can I be your home? We know enough, Taewon said. We know you love your family so intensely you married 3 strangers to save them. We know you're frightened, but brave enough to face that fear. We know you challenge us instead of just submitting. That's more than enough to begin with. Everything else, Min-suk added, standing and moving slowly toward her, we'll learn together. He stopped a foot away, close enough that Simone could smell his cologne, something expensive and masculine that made her dizzy. Can I touch you? He asked. Just your hand. Nothing more. Simone's heart hammered. Why? Because I want to see if you feel it too. Feel what? The connection. The electricity. There's no electricity, Simone said, but her voice wavered. Then you have nothing to fear from letting me hold your hand, Min-suk said reasonably. Besties, pause for just a second. Can you imagine being in Simone's position right now? Married to 3 men you don't know, being told you're their home when you barely remember their names? If you're feeling this tension, if you're wondering whether Simone should run or stay, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment telling me if you'd have signed that contract. Would you marry 3 dangerous strangers to save your family? Slowly, Simone extended her hand. Min-suk took it gently, his fingers warm and calloused against her palm. The moment their skin connected, Simone gasped. It wasn't electricity exactly, more like heat spreading from the contact point up her arm through her chest, settling low in her belly in a way that made her squirm. You feel it, Min-suk said, satisfaction in his voice. Don't lie and claim you don't. I feel something, Simone admitted. That doesn't mean I want to sleep with you. Not yet, DJ said, appearing at her other side. But you will. May I? He held out his hand. Simone knew she should refuse, maintain boundaries. Remember, this was purely business. Instead, she placed her other hand in DJ's. The heat doubled, tripled when Taewon moved behind the couch, his hands gentle on her shoulders. This is what we felt the moment we saw your photograph, Taewon said softly, his breath warm against her ear. Our lawyer showed us 50 candidates. Women fitting grandmother's requirements, needing money, who might agree. But when we saw you, all 3 of us knew immediately. You were ours. That's not how attraction works, Simone protested weakly, even as her body betrayed her, leaning into their touches. That's not how anything works. And yet here we are, DJ said, lifting her hand to his lips, pressing a kiss to her knuckles that sent shivers down her spine. 3 men who've never agreed on anything, unanimous in wanting you. We've been with other women, Min-suk admitted, his thumb stroking circles on her palm. Separately, never together, never like this. But none of them felt right. None of them felt like home. Besties, are you seeing what I'm seeing? The way these 3 powerful men are completely captivated by Simone? If you want to see how this unfolds, how she handles 3 husbands who refuse to let her stay distant, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me who's your favorite triplet so far, DJ, Taewon, or Min-suk. Let's continue. I need time, Simone said, pulling her hands free immediately, missing their warmth. I need to process this, all of this. Can we not do anything tonight? Please. The brothers exchanged glances, having one of those silent conversations identical siblings seemed capable of. Then DJ nodded. We'll give you tonight. But Simone, the contract requires consummation within the first week of marriage. Grandmother's doctor will verify it. Simone's face flamed. Verify it? How? Medical examination, Taewon said gently. I know it's invasive and archaic, but it's required. You signed agreeing to it. I didn't read every detail, Simone said miserably. I was desperate. We know, Min-suk said. That's why we're giving you time to adjust. But you need to understand that by the end of this week, one way or another, you'll no longer be a virgin. That's not negotiable. How it happens, with whom, under what circumstances, that's up to you. But it will happen. The finality in his voice should have terrified her. Instead, it sent a different kind of shiver through Simone's body. 1 week, she said. And then what? You all just, what? Take turns. That's crude, DJ said, frowning. We're not animals. We're your husbands. When we make love to you, it will be because you want us, because you're ready, because you're begging for it. I won't beg, Simone said firmly. You will, all 3 brothers said together, their voices holding dark promises. We'll make certain of it. DJ stood, gesturing to the bedroom door. Your room is through there. Everything you need has been provided. Clothes, toiletries, anything you might want. There's a lock on the door if it makes you feel safer, though we'd never enter without permission. Our rooms are on the same floor, Taewon added. If you need anything during the night, anything at all, call for us. And Simone, Min-suk said as she moved toward the bedroom, sweet dreams. Dream of us. Dream of what it will feel like when you finally surrender. Simone fled into the bedroom, closing the door and leaning against it, her heart racing. The room was massive, decorated in soft creams and golds, dominated by a bed easily fitting 4 people. A bed designed for what was coming, for when her week of grace ended and she had to fulfill her contract. She moved to the window, looking out at Seoul's glittering skyline. Somewhere out there, her father was sleeping peacefully in a private hospital room instead of dying in a public ward. Her mother was in their house, saved from foreclosure. Her sister was planning her college return. And all it cost was Simone's freedom, her body, her future. Was it worth it? She didn't know. But as she touched her lips, remembering the heat of Min-suk's hand, the intensity of DJ's gaze, the gentleness of Taewon's touch, she wondered if maybe, possibly, insanely, this might become more than just sacrifice. Simone didn't sleep. She lay in that enormous bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment until her mind spun. Around 3 a.m., she heard footsteps in the hallway outside her door. They paused. She held her breath, waiting for a knock that never came. After a long moment, the footsteps retreated. Even respecting her space, they were checking on her. The thought shouldn't have been comforting, but it was. Morning came with soft light filtering through cream curtains. Simone found clothes laid out in the walk-in closet, designer labels in her exact size, jeans, silk blouses, casual dresses, everything perfectly chosen for her taste and complexion. How did they know? How much research had they done before making their offer? She showered in the marble bathroom using products probably costing more than her monthly grocery budget, then dressed in jeans and a soft sweater, trying to feel normal in this surreal situation. When she emerged, the smell of coffee and something sweet drew her toward the kitchen. She found Taewon at the stove cooking what looked like pancakes while Min-suk set the table. DJ sat reading a newspaper, looking like he'd stepped out of a magazine in his tailored suit. "Good morning," Taewon said, smiling warmly. "I hope you like blueberry pancakes. I made them American style since you probably miss home food." "You cook?" Simone asked, surprised. "All three of us do," Min-suk said, pouring orange juice. "Our mother insisted. She said men who couldn't feed themselves were useless." "Your mother," Simone said, sitting carefully at the table. "Where is she?" The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. DJ set down his newspaper, his expression hardening. "Dead 15 years ago. Murdered by rivals wanting to destroy our father." "I'm so sorry," Simone whispered. "Don't be," Taewon said, bringing a plate of perfect pancakes to the table. "We avenged her. Every single person involved in her death no longer exists. It took us 5 years, but we were thorough." The casual way he said it, like discussing the weather, sent chills down Simone's spine. These men were killers. Actual killers. And she was married to them. "You're afraid again," Min-suk observed, studying her face. "Don't be. We'd never hurt you, Simone. You're ours to protect, not harm." "But you hurt other people," she said. "People who threaten what's ours," DJ corrected. "There's a difference in our world. You protect your own or you lose everything. We choose protection." "Is that what I am now?" Simone asked. "Something you own?" "Property to protect." "You're our wife," Taewon said firmly. "That's not ownership. That's partnership. You're part of us now whether you accept it yet or not." They ate in tense silence. The pancakes were delicious, perfectly fluffy and sweet, but Simone barely tasted them. Her mind raced with questions, fears, and that strange heat building whenever the brothers looked at her. "Grandmother wants to meet you today," DJ said finally. "She's at the family estate in Gangnam. We'll go this afternoon." "What do I say to her?" Simone asked. "How do I act?" "Like our wife," Min-suk said simply. "Respectful but not submissive. She respects strength." "And don't mention this is temporary," Taewon added. "As far as grandmother knows, this is forever. Real a love match." "But it's not," Simone protested. "It could be," all three brothers said together. The Kwon family estate was enormous, a traditional Korean compound hidden behind walls and guards. As they drove through the gates, Simone saw gardens, koi ponds, buildings looking centuries old nestled among modern security systems. "This is where we grew up," Taewon explained as they walked toward the main house. "Grandmother lives in the ancestral wing. She refuses to modernize it. Says it dishonors our heritage." "What's she like?" Simone asked nervously. "Terrifying," Min-suk said honestly. "But if she likes you, she'll protect you like you're her own blood. If she doesn't, well, let's hope she likes you." Grandmother Kwon sat in a chair resembling a throne, dressed in traditional hanbok, her white hair pulled back severely. Her eyes were sharp, missing nothing as Simone entered and bowed as Taewon had instructed. "So this is the girl," grandmother said in Korean. DJ translated quietly. "Yes, grandmother. This is Simone Hayes, our wife." "She's beautiful," grandmother continued in Korean. "Good hips for bearing children, strong shoulders, good skin. You chose well." Simone felt like livestock being evaluated, but kept her expression neutral. "Does she speak Korean?" grandmother asked. "Not yet," Taewon answered. "But we'll teach her. She should learn quickly. A Kwon wife who can't speak Korean is useless." Grandmother switched to heavily accented English. "You girl. Come closer." Simone approached, her heart pounding. Grandmother reached out, took her hand, examining it with clinical precision. "Soft hands. Not a worker. What did your family do?" My mother runs a hair salon, Simone said. My father was a construction foreman before his stroke. Poor then. That's why you agreed to this arrangement. The bluntness stung, but Simone met grandmother's eyes. Yes, I agreed to save my family from debt. Honest, grandmother said, nodding approval. Good. I hate liars. Do you love my grandsons? The question caught Simone off guard. She could feel the brothers tensing behind her. I don't know them well enough to love them yet, she said carefully. But I respect them and I'm committed to this marriage. For how long? 1 year, as the contract states. Grandmother's smile was sharp. You think I don't know about the contract? I'm old, not stupid. Simone's blood went cold. Grandmother, DJ started, but she waved him off. I know everything, DeYoung. I approved the contract. You think I'd let my grandsons marry without my blessing? Besties, can you believe this plot twist? Grandmother knew all along. If you're as shocked as Simone right now, smash that subscribe button because this story is about to get even more intense. Trust me, you don't want to miss what grandmother reveals next. You knew? Simone asked. And you approved? Of course, grandmother said. My grandsons need a wife who isn't after their money or power. Someone who can be trusted. Someone signing a contract with clear terms is more trustworthy than some girl claiming love while hunting for fortune. But you wanted the marriage to be real, Simone said, confused. Consummated. Yes, because I want great-grandchildren before I die. And because if my grandsons are going to keep you for a year, they might as well enjoy you properly. A year is long enough to fall in love, to make this real. The contract is just the beginning. Grandmother leaned forward, her grip on Simone's hand tightening. Here's what you don't understand yet, girl. My grandsons have never brought a woman to meet me. Never shared anything. They've had women, yes, separately, selfishly. But you, they share. You, they agreed on. That means something. It means desperation to fulfill your dying wish, Simone said. Grandmother laughed, a sound like crackling paper. It means love, stupid girl. They just don't know it yet. Neither do you. But you will. She released Simone's hand. The consummation must happen this week. Have you completed it yet? Simone's face burned. No. Why not? Are my grandsons not attractive enough? Not skilled enough? I need time to adjust, Simone managed. Time is something I don't have, grandmother said sharply. My doctor says 3 months if I'm lucky. I want to see you pregnant before I die. I want to know the Quan line continues. That's not in the contract, Simone protested. It will be, grandmother said. Amendment to be signed today. Pregnancy within the first 6 months of marriage or payment is withheld. You can't change the terms, Simone said, panic rising. I agreed to marriage, not breeding. You agreed to whatever I decide, grandmother said coldly. Your family's debts are paid, but can be reinstated. Your father's hospital care can be withdrawn. Your sister's college fund can disappear. You want to negotiate, girl? I hold all the cards. Simone felt tears burning. This was worse than she'd imagined. Not just giving up her virginity, but her entire future, her body's autonomy. Grandmother, that's enough, DJ said firmly. You're scaring her. Good. She should be scared. This is a serious commitment. We won't force pregnancy, Taewon said. That wasn't part of our agreement with you. Then make it part of your agreement with her, grandmother snapped. Or find another wife who will cooperate. Simone ran. She didn't think, just turned and fled out of the room through the compound, vision blurred with tears. She heard the brothers calling after her but couldn't stop. She'd sold herself into slavery. That's what this was. Not marriage, slavery. Strong hands caught her in the garden, spinning her around. DJ, let me go, she sobbed. I can't do this. I can't be your breeding mare. You won't be, he said firmly, pulling her against his chest. Grandmother doesn't control this marriage. We do. And we say no forced pregnancy. But my family, Simone cried. She'll destroy them. She won't, Taewon said, appearing on her other side. Because we won't let her. We'll pay your family's debts ourselves if necessary. Why would you do that? Simone asked, pulling back to look at DJ's face. You go against your own grandmother for me? Yes, all three brothers said simultaneously. Minsuk stepped closer, his hand gentle on her back. Grandmother is dying and desperate. She's not thinking clearly. But we are. And we're telling you right now, Simone, no one forces you into anything. Not her, not us, not anyone. But the contract, Simone whispered. The consummation requirement, the examination, all of it. That stands, DJ said. You agreed to that, and we need it to satisfy the legal requirements. But pregnancy? That happens if and when you want it, not because grandmother demands it. Taewon cupped her face, wiping away her tears with his thumbs. Listen to me. We're not good men. We've done terrible things. But we have honor. We keep our word. And we're giving you our word right now that you're safe with us. How can I trust that? Simone asked. How can I trust any of this? Because we're going back in there right now, Minsuk said. And we're going to tell grandmother exactly where she can put her pregnancy demand. And if she tries to threaten your family, she'll learn that we protect what's ours, even from her. They walked back into the ancestral house together, the three brothers flanking Simone like bodyguards. Grandmother sat exactly where they'd left her, unsurprised by their return. Done running, she asked Simone. I wasn't running from you, Simone said, finding her voice. I was processing. There's a difference. Grandmother's eyebrow rose. Brave words for a girl with everything to lose. Grandmother, DJ said, his voice cold in a way Simone hadn't heard before. The pregnancy clause will not be added to the contract. Simone will give us children if and when she chooses, not because you demand it. You dare defy me? Grandmother's voice was sharp as broken glass. For her, for our wife, Taewon corrected. For the woman we chose. You taught us to protect family, grandmother. She's family now. That means protecting her from everyone, including you. Silence stretched like a wire about to snap. Then grandmother laughed, that crackling paper sound again. Finally, you boys show some backbone. I was beginning to think you'd never stand up to me. This was a test? Minsuk asked, anger flashing in his eyes. Of course it was a test, grandmother said. You think I'd really threaten an innocent girl's family? I wanted to see if you'd protect her, if you'd choose her over me. And you did. Good. Simone's legs felt weak. You were lying about withdrawing my father's care? About the pregnancy demand. The pregnancy demand was real, grandmother said. I do want great-grandchildren. But I won't force it. I wanted to see if my grandsons would force it. They won't. That tells me they truly care for you, even if they don't realize it yet. You're manipulative, Simone said, anger replacing fear. You played with my emotions, my family's safety, for a test. I'm thorough, grandmother corrected. And now I know my grandsons chose well. You have fire, you have fear, but you face it, and they protect you instinctively. That's all I needed to see. She gestured to a servant who brought forward a small box. This belonged to my mother-in-law, passed down through 6 generations of Kwon wives. I give it to you now. Inside the box was a jade bracelet, deep green and intricately carved. This is worth more than money, grandmother said as Simone stared at it. It's family legacy, proof that I accept you as a true Kwon wife, not just a contract bride. Wear it and everyone will know you're under my protection. I don't understand, Simone said. Why give me this if you know I'm leaving in a year? Because I know you won't, grandmother said simply. You'll fall in love with my grandsons. They'll fall in love with you. The contract will become meaningless. This bracelet is my bet on that future. The drive back to the penthouse was quiet. Simone sat between Taewon and Minsuk in the back seat while DJ drove, the jade bracelet heavy on her wrist. I'm sorry about grandmother, Taewon finally said. She's grandmother. Manipulation is how she's survived 93 years in this world. She terrifies me, Simone admitted. Good, Minsuk said. She terrifies everyone. But she's also fiercely loyal to family. Now that you've passed her test, she'll protect you like you're her own blood. What if I hadn't passed? Simone asked. DJ caught her eyes in the rearview mirror. Then we would have protected you anyway. From her, from anyone. That's what we do. Back at the penthouse, Simone escaped to her room, claiming exhaustion. In truth, she needed space to process everything. Grandmother's test, the brother's protection, the weight of the jade bracelet on her wrist. She was in deeper than she'd realized. This wasn't just a contract anymore. These men were claiming her, protecting her, making her part of something she didn't fully understand. And worse, she was starting to want it. A soft knock interrupted her thoughts. Simone? Taewon's voice. Can we talk? She opened the door to find all three brothers standing there. We thought you might have questions, DJ said. After today. I have 1,000 questions, Simone admitted, stepping back to let them in. They settled in her sitting area, the brothers on one couch, Simone on the chair across from them. Why do you really want this marriage? She asked. And don't tell me it's just for grandmother. There has to be more. The brothers exchanged glances. Then Minsuk spoke. 5 years ago, we made a mistake. A bad decision that cost innocent lives. Grandmother she was devastated, ashamed of us. She cut us off emotionally. Said we'd lost our way, become monsters like our father. What did you do? Simone asked. We trusted the wrong person, DJ said, his voice tight. A rival organization approached us, said they wanted peace, wanted to negotiate territory. We agreed to meet. But it was a trap. They'd planted bombs in the meeting location. We figured it out and got out. But there was a children's hospital next door. The bombs didn't just destroy the meeting site. Simone's hand flew to her mouth. How many? 32 children, Taewon said, his voice breaking. And 15 staff members. All dead because we were careless, because we didn't properly vet the location, because we were arrogant enough to think we were untouchable. We hunted down everyone responsible, Minsuk continued. Made them pay. But it didn't bring those children back, didn't undo what our carelessness caused. Grandmother said we were cursed, DJ said. That we'd never know peace, never have families, never experience love because we'd stolen it from so many parents. She said the only way to redeem ourselves was to build something good, create life instead of taking it. If you're feeling the weight of this revelation like I am, besties, leave a comment telling me if you think the brothers deserve redemption. Can love truly heal the past? Hit subscribe to see if Simone can be their salvation. So I'm your redemption, Simone asked quietly. You're our chance, Taewon said. Our chance to be better men, to create a family, raise children who won't make our mistakes, to build something good from all this darkness. That's a lot of pressure to put on one person, Simone said. We know, Minsuk agreed. And it's not fair to you. But it's the truth. We need you, Simone. Not just for grandmother. For ourselves. You make us want to be better. I don't know how to fix broken men, Simone whispered. We're not asking you to fix us, DJ said. We're asking you to love us anyway. Broken pieces and all. Simone looked at these three identical faces, seeing them differently now. Not just as dangerous crime lords or convenient husbands, but as men carrying crushing guilt, seeking redemption in the only way they knew how. The consummation, she said slowly. It has to happen this week. Yes, they confirmed. Then I want it to mean something, Simone said, her heart pounding. Not just fulfilling a contract. I want to choose it. Choose you. All of you. The air in the room changed instantly, charging with electricity. Are you sure? DJ asked, his voice rough. Because once we start, Simone, we won't be able to stop. We've been holding back, being gentlemen. But if you give us permission, if you truly choose this, we'll claim you completely. I'm sure, Simone said, standing on shaking legs. But not tonight. I need 2 more days to prepare myself mentally. Can you give me that? We can give you anything you need, Taewon said, also standing. 2 days then. But Simone, use that time wisely. Because in 2 days, you become ours in every way possible. And you become mine, Simone said, surprised by her own boldness. That's how this works, right? If I'm giving myself to you, you're giving yourselves to me. Yes, all three brothers said, something like reverence in their voices. We're already yours. We have been since we first saw your photograph. The next 2 days were a study in controlled tension. The brothers circled Simone like wolves promised a feast, but forced to wait. They were respectful, patient, but their eyes tracked her every movement with hunger that made her skin flush. DJ would brush past her in the hallway, his hand grazing her lower back, sending sparks through her body. Taewon would sit too close during meals, his thigh pressing against hers, casual but deliberate. Minsuk would find excuses to touch her hair, her hand, her shoulder, each contact brief but electric. You're torturing us, Minsuk said on the second evening, finding her on the balcony overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline. I know, Simone admitted, not looking at him. Is that wrong? It's cruel, he said, stepping closer until she could feel his body heat. But also incredibly arousing. Watching you walk around our home knowing that tomorrow night you'll be in our bed, knowing we'll finally touch you the way we've been dreaming about. Simone's breath caught. What have you been dreaming about? Minsuk's hand came up to her neck, his thumb stroking her pulse point. Everything. The sounds you'll make, how your skin will taste, whether you'll be shy or bold, if you'll scream our names when you come. Minsuk, Simone whispered, her body responding despite her nervousness. Tomorrow, he said, stepping back with visible effort. Tomorrow we'll show you. Besties, I need you to stop right here. What you just witnessed was only the beginning. Simone thought the hardest part was giving herself to 3 dangerous men on her wedding night. She was wrong. Dead wrong. That text message? That's not just a threat. That's a declaration of war. And when you threaten a Korean Mafia family, blood will flow through the streets of Seoul. Part 2 is where this love story becomes a story of survival. Where Simone discovers exactly how far these 3 brothers will go to protect what's theirs. Where bodies drop and loyalty is tested. Where she has to decide if she can truly love men capable of such violence. If you want to see what happens when the Kwon brothers go to war, if you need to know whether Simone's family survives, if you're dying to find out if this contract marriage becomes real love, then you need to watch part 2 immediately. But before you click over, do 3 things for me. First, smash that like button if you're Team Simone. Second, subscribe so you don't miss the explosive conclusion. Third, comment below and tell me honestly, would you stay with 3 men who kill to protect you, or would you run? Part 2 drops in just a few seconds. Don't you dare leave me now. The real story is just beginning, and trust me, you're not ready for what comes next. Click that link to part 2 right now. Simone's life depends on it.